Hello and welcome. I am Gimba Umar. Tonight, President Muhammadu Buhari addresses Nigerians on Democracy Day, lists the achievements of his administration in the past 3 years as he vows to end the activities of armed bandits terrorizing parts of the country. Senate President Bukola Saraki cautions against actions and tendencies capable of making a mockery of the ideals of democracy in Nigeria. Speakers at the Channels Forum on Democracy Day X-ray Nigeria's developmental challenges and chart a path for the country's journey out of its current predicament. And 3 people, including 2 police officers, shot dead in eastern Belgium by gunmen suspected to be a terrorist.
On Business News tonight, Minister of Budget and National Planning gives assessment on federal government's growth plan, says Nigerians too begin to benefit soon.
On sports news, former world #1 Serena Williams makes a successful return to Grand Slam tennis with a win over Kristina Pliskova at the French Open.
Hello, and from Abuja, Governor of Rivers State Nyesom Wike marks 3 years of his administration, cautions residents of the state to vote wisely in the next general elections.
We begin tonight with the president's vow that the rampaging killer herdsmen and other criminal elements terrorizing all parts of the country and their sponsors will be fished out and be made to face the full wrath of the law. President Muhammadu Buhari's promise is contained in his special broadcast to the nation to commemorate the Democracy Day today. Among his administration's achievements in the last 3 years, President Buhari focused on security, including the degrading of Boko Haram insurgents and the rescue of hostages. He also dwelt on the successes of the anti-corruption fight and the performance of the economy, among other things. Our correspondent Charles Eruka reports.
My dear Nigerians, today marks the 19th year of our nascent democracy and the 3rd anniversary of this administration.
In a 25-minute broadcast, the president highlighted key areas of his administration's achievements, focusing mainly on security, corruption, and the economy. He began with how security challenges have been tackled.
Before this administration came into being 3 years ago, Boko Haram held large areas of land, spanning several local governments in the northeast. Today, the capacity of the insurgents has been degraded, leading to the re-establishment of authority of government and the release of captives, including happily 106 Chibok and 104 deputy girls, and over 16,000 other persons held by Boko Haram. The unfortunate incidences of kidnappings, herdsmen and farmers' clashes in several communities, which have led to high number of fatalities and loss of properties across the country, is being addressed, and the identified culprits and their sponsors shall be made to face the full wrath of the law.
While commending the gallantry of the security forces in the role they've played, with a promise of better training and equipping, President Buhari also provided a scorecard on the war against another menace: corruption.
Various policy measures already put in place to stem the tide of corrupt practices are yielding remarkable results. Some of these key reform policies include: A. The Treasury single account has realized billions of naira being saved from maintenance fee payable to banks. 200 billion naira has also been saved from elimination of ghost workers in public service. B. The whistleblowing policy has helped to recover over 500 billion naira. C. The Prudential Initiative of Continuous Audit set up was amended to validate controls, assess risks, prune personal costs, ensure compliance with public financial management reforms, has helped to identify and remove over 52,000 ghost workers from the federal government MDS payroll.
Having inherited a challenged economy in 2015, the Buhari administration's efforts at overhauling it are also spotlighted.
For the first time, 30% of the budget was earmarked for capital expenditure, which represents an upward review when compared with the 2015 budget. The SIP was followed by the development of a comprehensive medium-term plan, the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan 2017 to 2020. The National Bureau of Statistics reports that the economy grew by 1.95% in the first quarter 2018, which is a good performance when viewed against -0.91% in first quarter 2017.
Achievements in the areas of education, job creation and transport are also showcased, but significantly the power sector has also recorded a rare milestone.
In the area of power generation, Nigerians from all parts of the country continue to report better power supply and less use of generators. With new facilities, repairs and rehabilitation by government and private investors, generation capability now exceeds 7,500 megawatts.
And for the youths of Nigeria and their aspirations, President Buhari had some very heartwarming news.
In few days to come, I will be joined by many promising young Nigerians to sign into law the Not Too Young to Run bill.
Of course, as the elections approach, the president called on all citizens to avoid hatred and intolerance and instead tread the path of fairness, justice and peaceful coexistence. In the days to come, the key issues in the president's broadcast are expected to dominate public discussion. Charles Eruka, for Channels Television News.
In the meantime, the president is calling on state governors to step up voter education in their states, adding that the permanent voter card is an important tool that Nigerians must make concerted efforts to obtain and protect. President Muhammadu Buhari made the call after breaking the fast with members of the judiciary at the State House in Abuja. The visitors include former Chief Justice of Nigeria, Alpha Belgore, and President of the Court of Appeal, Bulkachawa, who were led to the breaking of the fast by Justice Olukayode Ariwola. And as Nigerians mark 19 years of unbroken democracy, the Senate President has warned against actions and tendencies that are capable of making a mockery of the ideals of the system of government. In a series of tweets on his Twitter handle, Senator Bukola Saraki says that Nigeria cannot celebrate democracy without cautioning against some negative developments currently playing out in the country. He describes such negative activities as abuse of office in a manner that smacks of persecution of perceived enemies, muzzling of free expression, undermining of public institutions and impunity by certain individuals. In one of the tweets, the Senate President quotes, "I would like us all to remember that democracy is not just about elections. It also involves the rule of law, following due process, respecting and nurturing institutions. It is also unity of purpose while being accountable when we are in position of authority." End of quote. And staying with the Democracy Day celebrations, many state governors in northern Nigeria have been reminding the citizens of their states about the need to value the freedom that democracy of the country has offered. The governors also used the opportunity to speak on the progress made on their campaign promises and efforts made by them to tackle insecurity in some parts of the region.
Democracy Day, held annually on May the 29th, commemorates the restoration of democracy in Nigeria when the newly elected Olusegun Obasanjo took office as the president of Nigeria in May of 1999, ending many years of military rule. The Jigawa State Governor, Badaru Abubakar, charged the people of his state to sincerely assess his administration's scorecard.
We have increased budgetary allocation to agriculture by 210% and expanded Padama cultivation from 40,000 hectares to 120,000 hectares.
With all humility.
In a statewide broadcast to mark his 3 years in office, Governor El Rufai of Kaduna State explained that his administration, since it came to power, has embarked on massive construction of urban and rural roads, renovated and equipped classrooms, primary healthcare centers and hospitals, created jobs for the unemployed youth, and reformed the state civil service for optimal performance.
We have now recruited about 13,000 new primary school teachers. On Saturday, the 19th of May 2018, another 65,000 applicants for teaching positions wrote aptitude tests in 139 centers across the state. With the response rate, we are confident that we shall soon achieve our target of hiring 25,000 new qualified primary school teachers. We are working on...
Speaking to Channels Television, the Niger State Governor, Abubakar Bello, says he has spent over 80 billion naira on capital projects.
The last set we did almost 300 kilometers of road, and this year I'm hoping we'll do slightly above 400 kilometers of rural access roads through ramp.
In Bauchi State, a public lecture with the theme Unleashing Agricultural Potentials for Diversifying Nigeria's Economy was organized in commemoration of this year's Democracy Day and the 3rd year anniversary of the Governor Mohammed Abubakar-led administration. He outlined his achievements in the areas of health, education, and infrastructure development.
The percentage success of our children in the basic examinations of WAEC and NECO was 3.5%. This month, 3.5%. By 2016, we were able to raise it to 17.6%. And last year, we were able to raise it to 27.8%. And we are still going on.
The end of military rule brought about a new era of regular elections and return of civil liberties, a free press, and an end to arbitrary arrests and torture. Although human rights violations are still reported, Democracy Day is an opportunity for Nigerians to reflect on the gains recorded and plan for a better future. Kayla Megwa, Channels Television News.
In the meantime, in southern Nigeria, states took the Democracy Day event to stadiums, squares and streets. This next report looks at how Akwa Ibom State, Cross River, Enugu and Edo State celebrated Democracy Day.
Hearty cheers for Democracy Day in Akwa Ibom State. It's a day of march past by various brigades, schools and support groups in a packed Uyo Stadium. The governor, Udom Emmanuel, is enjoying it all. But when he takes the podium, his message is philosophical.
Our journey where we are today did not come easy. It had to be fought, it had to be won. In the process, some lost their lives or were imprisoned. This beautiful gift, which has redefined and gave the world, must be protected.
In neighboring Cross River State, the event is marked with fanfare on the streets. The governor, Professor Ben Ayade, leads the gathering in the cake-cutting ceremony.
Congratulations, DJ, play something.
For the governor, service is all about the people.
When you become a governor and you focus on the people, this is what you get. Because I have shifted government from a small team of people who think that they are the alpha and omega, and communized government, expanded it and took government to the people that need government most.
In Enugu State, the governor, Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, arrives at the Michael Okpara Square, and after the parade, he expresses gratitude to the people for the faith entrusted in him.
Gratitude to you for the mandate and trust imposed in us. Gratitude for your immense support, prayers and patience truly is. And indeed, gratitude for the wide acceptance accorded this administration.
In Edo State, party faithful gathered in Benin are enjoying the solidarity rally organized by the People's Democratic Party. A former governorship aspirant joins the celebration and urges the people to always let their votes count to avoid electing leaders that will fail them. Democracy is said to be of the people, by the people, and for the people. So as Nigeria's democratic march continues, the hope of the people is that they will not be disappointed by those who they elected to provide the positive dividends of democracy.
In part two, after the break, more on 19 years of democracy in Nigeria. We have a legal practitioner and political analyst, Daniel Bwala, live in our Abuja studios to assess the journey so far. Please stay with us.